Well, my friends, I hope you are as excited as I am after you've seen the finish Jay's Crazy 8 Faux Swag Sweater. And, I want you to have something that you could just make anytime you want with simple steps, and something that you can dress up or you can dress down. Now, I'm over at the counter after showing you the finish project. Now I'm showing you what I had to do in order to get it to look like that. So the first thing I want to do is make sure I don't forget this. After you've sewn in all your ends, you've checked all your little ends. I had a few extra than because I was slicing and dicing my yarn. So I just took time and I sewed them in nice and neat. Okay, but I left this one thing so that I can share with you. This you need to do after you do all your ends. The best thing to do is keep it in the same steps. After I've done all my ends, but I'm not done because I need to kind of fortify or strengthen this neck curve. See this 90-degree neck curve? Well, once I show you how to go in there and just kind of, stitch over it a little bit, it's going to give it strength, and it's going to make it more appealing and more like this, straight, not so much with the 90-degree. So here we go. Here we are. I've got a yarn needle and the same whatever color yarn you have there. This will work just fine. We don't need a whole lot. I put a little marker so I remember which side I hadn't done. I've done this other side. I just need to weave in. But this is the side that I'm going to work on, so I'm going to take my little mark out of the way. And I'm going to bring this close. Now, when you see how it forms a 90-degree, that's from where it came down the neck and then across the neck, and then you go up over the shoulder. So it forms this like 90-degree. And I'm on the wrong side of the fabric. The wrong side. This is the wrong side. It's facing me. I've got my yarn needle, and all I'm going to do is go ahead and try to just strengthen so that, see how it looks like it. You can look at it. Now, you may not be able to see it on mine, but on yours, you can see it. It looks just weak because there's only like 2 strands there. And, it's, after wear, I don't want that to come loose or give me any kind of problems. Because, like I said, once you make a few of these, it's going to be nice and easy to make someone else a nice little gift. And just, like I say, when you have just leftover yarn. Now you can kind of see how much yarn. It doesn't take that much yarn because it's not a full sweater. It's a faux swag sweater. So I'm going to take my needle right quick, and I'm going to start over here on this side and just kind of run it through some of the stitches. I'm going to go ahead and just bury this tail just by running it up through. Now, I know this is dark yarn, but I'll hold it as close as I can, but you know what I'm doing. I'm going to sew over in this direction to kind of strengthen that. So I'm just weaving in some of the yarn, pulling it up like this, and I can leave that little tail. Now I'm going to go back through so it almost forms like a little knot there at the top. See how I just went back through? Okay, then that way I can cut that at the bottom. Now I'm going to just go up to the very top edge of this neck edge. You see it right there. And I'm trying to work over to fill in some of that or to strengthen it. So all I'm going to do is just take some little small steps, just like your regular sewing. Nothing fancy. Like I said, this is so dark you can't even see rid of, but you'll be able to see on yours depending on your color. But when I get to where there's a big, it seems like a loose or kind of a holy area, I'm just going to take my time, go over, find something, just kind of go over, pick up now don't pull too tight, now come back and go back in the same direction. Go back and pick up something over here, go through that, the same, don't pull it tight, but there's a knot there now, see, there's like, and look, that little hole that I had is really gone. And then I'm going to go over, I'm going to go in another little place, and I find another place I feel that's secure enough to put my needle and go in. Don't pull it tight. Then I'm going to go back and do it again. Go back and go in that same direction, see? And do that again. Oh, look at it. Oh, look. Look how pretty. You don't even see any of those little holes I had. Okay, let's go on. You don't have to go very far, but I want to go up enough. Okay, just kind of find a place to go in. Just as long as you... And then go into another little place on this side. We're just kind of... Really, we're doing like a back stitch. And then I'll go in again and pull it up, but don't pull it real tight yet. Now I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to go up just a little bit. Slowly. Look at that. See how smooth and how much nicer that looks? And I'm going to be able to get plenty of wear and not have to worry about one of these yarns for some reason, snapping. Now all I'm going to do is turn, instead of me, hate to have to turn the whole thing and mess up everything, but I'm going to work back. If it's smooth enough, you don't really have to work back. But since we've been going, so I don't think I'm going to have to work back because I went through twice. See, I'm going up here and I'm going through again in the same direction. So we don't really have to work back. But once I get up here, then I can just start weaving in. Just like you do the normal little whip stitch in some of the stitches. Just go there, go here, go here, and you just go across for a few, 10 or 12 stitches. But the trick of it is, can you hold it out and not see any big holes or gaps? And then, of course, look on the front side. It should be nice and smooth there, too. And if you have anything, no, that's just fuzz. I want to make sure I don't have anything. See how that looks? Even though it's dark yarn. And then down here, you can snip that off. I should have gone in twice on this end too, but I kind of forgot. You can't remember everything on the spot. But I did it up there. So it's not coming out, it's not going anyplace, and I have this really pretty smooth neckline. And of course, you do it on this side. I did this before I got on camera. And now all I have to do is just weave in this edge. And you can tell when you hold it up, if you don't see anything, if you think you missed a place, before you weave it in, just go back over. And then weave it in on that side. What do you think of that? That's the last thing you want to do your sewing on. Do all your ends, check all your ends everywhere, every little spot, whatever, and then say, okay, but I have 2 more places I have to do automatically. I don't even have to think about it. And it's each. So now when I put it on, look, when you stretch it out, it's more elongated and not so much, okay, a right angle. See, it stretches out, but it's nice and neat. All right, so now let's get to some steaming. All right, I'm glad that I decided to add this extra video just to go over how I finish up on some of my projects so that you can see in real time. And it really makes a difference if you don't take the time to do a little steaming. Of course, it depends on what your fabric, your yarn, whether you want to wet block it or just simply steam it. I just always steam my stuff, like I said, because even if there's wool in it, I just don't have the mind to have wet stuff and have it all laying around. It's not just can't happen in my house. So I just steam it and I'm fine. Okay, so first thing you got, now you have to kind of pretend that this is my ironing board, or you could lay it on another counter on top of a big beach towel. One of those big thick beach towels that you take on vacation. Okay, You could do that. You could lay it out on that. It will work just fine. My counter has a towel, so that's why I'm just doing it on here. I don't have enough light back there with my ironing board. All right, so then I have iron. Now I've got a big old iron in my laundry room with my ironing board. This is just my little craft iron, and it's not on, but we're going to pretend that it is. First thing you're going to do, of course, fill it with water. Put water in, and then you're going to set it so that the steam comes. You know, you set the little dial, and you let the steam come. Once it's really going, if the steam is really coming out, then I want you to shut it down just a little bit. Just kind of move the little dial and shut it down so it's not super hot. Make sure I'm on here. So it's not so super hot, but yet there's still steam coming out. If the steam stops, then you have to turn it back up a little bit. Otherwise, it's just going to drip water or something. So this is just my little iron, just my little demonstration. All right, because it's too hot. So I have my iron. I'm going to just set that up there. And we're pretending like it's on, and, you know, it's hot enough that I don't want to touch it, but I've turned it down a little bit. But yet, psst, psst, the steam is still coming out. Understand? Okay. Now, the trick I use is I take a pillowcase. I've always done this. I take a pillowcase. I had a little cotton napkin thing I used to use, but I started using the pillowcase because there's two layers of fabric. You know, pillowcase is, you know, there's two pieces of fabric, a front and a back. So I can't open it. And at the end, I'll tell you what else I use this little pillowcase. I use this pillowcase with my yarn projects. So I've got it laid out here. Now, this little corner here, sometimes I have to pin it. You can kind of pin it. Can you see? Let's see if I'm on camera for that little corner. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit. I need to come over it. Yeah, I'm going to leave that camera alone. Okay, but you can stick a pin in there and kind of pull it out a little bit. We're not going to so much steam this ribbing. That's one thing I learned. You know, just from watching other people. You know, you stay away from your ribbon. You don't want your ribbon to become loose and just, you know. But you do need to watch maybe the corner or something. Try to line it up a little bit. We're going to take this a little at a time. And what I do on this side, you will simply do on the opposite side, since my counter, you know, is not wide enough. So, all right, my iron is warm. Not too hot, but yet I know it's steaming. The steam is coming out. All right, so now I'm going to take my pillowcase, and we're going to work on one side. And if your pillowcase is really big, on my iron board, I have a big pillowcase, so it goes all the way across. You know, it's a long pillowcase, so it can go all the way across. But I'm going to lay it here, and I'm just smoothing it out. Now, I take my iron. Now watch, I'm going to let the iron, I'm not going to press like you're ironing clothes. I'm going to let the iron just glide over the pillowcase, just like this. Just glide over. Stay off the ribbon. I know where the ribbon is, so I come down towards the ribbon, but I don't really go onto the ribbon. Or if I do it one time, and that's it. I kind of hold it up in this corner. You know how steam come out if you hold your iron up? I kind of, because I have it pinned right there in the corner to keep it straight. And I just let the iron ride the pillowcase. It just glides over the pillowcase. I'm not ironing the clothes. I'm just a few times over. Like I said, on my ironing board, like long, I go all the way across. But this one, we're going to do one side at a time. All right, then I'll take the pillowcase, and I'll look at it. And then this is when I like to go in and kind of smooth things out. Make sure that it looks good. In fact, I need to take off my rings. That's a good thing to do. Take off your rings so that you're not snagging anything. You don't want to, isn't that awful if you snag something? So I'm going here, and I call it hand pressing. I just press it out. I look at it. This is giving it time to cool. If it's non-wool or something, store-bought yarn, acrylic, and all that, you need to give it time to kind of reset. Just cool just for a second. Okay. Now, you're doing this on the other side. You can do it all at once or one side at a time. Now I'm going to pull down. Pull down just enough. Okay. Now, the first time I do this, you will have a little rolling on this, but we're going to hit the front of it too. But we're going to go ahead and try to... The iron is still over here steaming. Okay, I take the pillowcase and I just move it up. I get everything laying so there's no... So everything is smooth. I can feel it. Look under there, check it. All right. Okay, I really want to kind of turn it, this edge. I can feel where the edge is. We are on the wrong side of the fabric of this sweater, not on the right side. And I'm just letting this iron just barely kind of glide over the pillowcase. And like I say, on my ironing board iron, it's real big, and I have to be careful because it's a big, heavy iron. One of those Black & Deckers. My husband irons his blue jeans, even starches them with spray starch. He's from, you know, we grew up in the 60s, and you always sprayed your blue jeans with starch and put a crease in them. So I have a big, heavy iron. In fact, it's almost too heavy for me to even lift, but it wears my arm out. But I don't iron clothes, you know, just when you go, just going somewhere. Okay. Then take it off. Okay. You just go ahead. I'd still go ahead and hand press. Just make sure it looks good. While I'm waiting a second or two, I'm letting that yarn set, cool a bit. Keep touching, make sure my iron is still warm enough or hot enough. Still has steam coming out, but not on the highest setting. Now I move down. In fact, let's see, on my ironing board, I would turn my sleeve this direction because, you know, it's the long length of the ironing board. I'll just see what I can do here on the counter. We're just pretending. Okay. Oh, I keep forgetting. One day I'm going to go back. I've told this story before. I won't tell the story tonight. But I got to go back and tell y'all what this scar is. Everybody, you know, just in case people seen that scar on my arm, what this scar is and what this one is. Can you see that one? I'll tell you in one of... when we're knitting one night or something, I'm gonna tell you my funny story. I'm gonna tell you what it is, how I got that scar, those two scars. Okay, so now I've laid this out, and if you want to pin yours, you can still pin it and still let the iron go. You know, hold the iron over the. But I'm gonna lay my pillowcase. Pillowcase, there's 2 layers, so no actual iron should be able to touch the yarn. But right now I'm kind of concentrating on these 2 edges that roll. Then I lightly, just barely, just glide your iron over to this edge. You have to feel it. I don't leave mine in place. I just keep it moving. I never like stop. You know, I don't know all that. I just keep mine moving. I watch other people. You know, you just have to find what works for you. Okay. Wait a second or so. Then you'll take that off and you go, oh, look at that. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like I did it, didn't it? But I had already done it. Now, you'll move it down when it's cool enough, when it cools down a little bit. And now I have my, let's see if I have my cuff. Now I have the cuff. And of course, I really don't want to get into the steam in the cuff and make it all loose, but I want to get close to it. I want to get this little area right in here. So I take my pillowcase again. Just gliding over the pillowcase, not pressing, not doing this or ironing, just barely, just let it just glide. I'm barely touching that pillowcase. And there's 2 layers, so now, stop. Let it cool a little bit. Now when I look at it, that looks good. And then I still have my cuff. Now, because the faux sleeves it represents a sleeve. And it has a very, the circumference compared to the sweater. So you will get the roll in the sleeve, which is fine because that's what makes it look like a sweater once you start wearing it. So don't worry about that. But I still go ahead and do this even here. I just like to steam it all. Now, once you get through steaming and you kind of go to the mirror and try everything on, you feel like, oh, I wish my little sleeve thing was a little bit longer. All you have to do is bring it back to the ironing board. You say, okay, like, oh, I wish it was just a hint longer. Now, we're going to stretch a little bit, but don't overdo it. So I have it like this, and I'm thinking, man, I need maybe just a little bit longer so when I do the little tie, it can hang real pretty. All right? Lay it on here just like this. Lay your pillowcase. Okay. Now, here's your iron. Take one hand, and you're going to just lightly pull. You see the ribbing? Is it showing up? Make sure. Because I don't want to do all this and it's not on there. Okay, so right here, I may grab the ribbon with my hand, but the pillowcase is here, and then I take my iron while I'm kind of lightly stretching. Just pull it just a little bit. Don't overstretch. It's just gliding on the pillowcase. And I'm pulling this out to just loosen the tension of the yarn, and wait a second or so. And then when I take it off, of course the iron's not on here, but it will have come out a little bit more, just like if I had just stretched it a little bit like that. And it will give you maybe another inch or so. But I'm gonna put it, no. Just lightly elongate it. Pillowcase over it again if you need to. Hold the end so it won't snap back. And you can take it out. Voila. Now, just to kind of help these edges, like I said, everything's going to kind of roll in because that's the nature, because this represents a seam. But try this just to give yourself, for those that maybe yours is rolling in too much, or you just need to re-steam it on the wrong side. But now if you go to the right side, sometimes I do once in a while, like on one like this, I might go to the right side. Can you see? This is the right side of the fabric. And maybe I need to relax the roll on the right side. I did it on the wrong side. You just, saw her steam. Okay, now on this side, of course, I'm going to lay my pillowcase. And I'm not going to come all over. I'm going to stay right here on the edge where I know the little boy, I can feel it. Shh. Don't go after. Don't go into your ribbon. See how you can almost see up under. That iron is just barely touching that pillowcase. And then stop and wait a little bit. You let it cool. That's just the nature of the yarn, of whatever the yarn is made of, except if it's wool. But even I do the same on all of them. I don't know any difference. That's if it's got a little wool in, I still do the same thing. Okay, so now, but once you start to wear it, it may roll a little bit and it may not. But definitely it may roll on the sleeve, because that's what it is. It's a faux sleeve, and the circumference from the large part of the sweater, and then we decrease down to make a narrow sleeve, faux sleeve, it is going to roll a little bit. But you can still go ahead and do it a little bit if you want to try. But just don't overdo. I am not an overdo. Don't oversteam. I hate killing my stuff. I did all the work. Okay, I can feel that edge. Shh, just the edge. Shh, barely touching. Shh. I can feel this edge right there. Shh. Let it sit. And voila. And that, my friend, wonderful, wonderful friends. I hope this project is something that you will love doing, love making. Look at that. I can't get it right like I had it on the hanger at the beginning. That's why I wanted to show that. And then, see how it still wants to turn in a little bit, but once, you just steam it a little bit more if you want to, but don't steam it, just the edges. But don't over steam or you're going to like, oh man, I wish I hadn't steamed so much. It's not that big a deal. But you see how the faux sleeve is going to roll because it has a very narrow circumference. So that's automatic. It's like a cord almost, like when you make a cord. It just rolls in on itself. But there is the beautiful faux sleeve. It rolls in, which is fine. And then I go up. There's my pretty colors. There's the top. When I open it up, I don't see a right angle per se. I see a nice long, smooth neckline that's going to come around my neck. So what do you think of that? That's so far. I'm delaying because I'm trying to think if there's anything else. All right, my friends, before I leave, I hope that all the information I've shared with you and some tips that I've tried to give you to help you as you our new friends are starting a knitting journey, and of course my regular friends and YouTube family, that it's just something you want to give it a try and enjoy, and I hope you enjoy it because we've done several. I have several faux sweat sweaters up already, but I have quite a few more. But in the meantime, I forgot I had this for this particular chart, the Crazy 8. I wanted to show you something that I had over 13 years ago. And I can tell it's not by a chart. I think it was when I was I know it was when I was still, typing out or it was written patterns. And this is the same little stitch, but it's a little different than the one we have now on the chart. So, see, I guess somebody's changed it somewhere along the way. But this is a cute little scarf I would make because I too had problems. What do I do with all those swatches? You think about, well, you could make some kind of blanket and sew them together and all that. That just wasn't realistic for me. So I would take them and make these cute little kind of, kind of real lady, girly, I'm going to call it girly or pearly scarf. Girly pearly scarves. What they just look real pretty with pearls or something. If you wanted to kind of dress something up and make it look really dressed up and pretty. So let me just show, I'll leave my pearls over there. Let me just show you what it looks like. So here, as you can see, it's a version of the Crazy 8 stitch, but it's a much smaller, and I can see some differences. You may not, but I see some differences from the chart, from the newer version that I found and recharted than this old version from at least 13 years ago, because I have pictures of it. And it's on one of my videos from years ago. And I just had to look for it, and I looked for it and went back there in my boxes, and it's simply the stitch, and then you go up about 2 inches in just regular stockinette, and then it goes into a 2x2 rib stitch that's real, and more real. It's real long because it goes around your neck. Let's see if I can do it. It will go around your neck, and then this part comes up through the little hole in the front. Now let's see, can I get it to lay right? Oh, look at that. It comes up and down and just makes this really pretty little, like I said, little dress up that you can wear with any kind of pretty necklace or a pretty little corsage or flower. Jay loves her flowers. What do you think about that bird? Isn't that pretty? And I even put some little pearls on it, well, little beads. You know, I had some beads. I even stuck some beads on this one. Can you see them? Isn't that pretty? Of course, you can make it tighter. I couldn't fit it on here. Let's see if I can fit it a little better. How about that? Isn't that pretty? So, let me know if you think you might want. I might do one anyway. I might do a whole, maybe, because I have several more of these different swatches that I have made over the years, and then I took the swatch and just made this little scarf. I didn't have a name for it back in the day, you know, because I was new on YouTube and I didn't really have a name, but it is on one of my videos. It just, you see one little picture of it. Yeah, we have to think of a cute name, and maybe for those who say, well, Jay, I may not can do a big project, but I am really interested in learning how to read the charts and work from them and do little smaller projects. Voila! This could be just what you need. You get enough of the stitch and the chart, and then you just go into one of the rib stitches. We can make up any rib stitch to fit 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 3 by 1, 4 by 2. You can make up a rib stitch, depending on, you know, your cast on number. So, what do you think of that? Isn't that pretty? Well, I just wanted to bring you that. And like I said, don't be surprised if you see more of these now popping up that I found it. I just couldn't remember which box I put it in, but I had to look through and I found it. So I just wanted to let you know, I hope you enjoyed the knit along. I hope you enjoyed wearing your finished faux swag sweater. And I'm excited. I'm excited not only for you, I'm excited for me, that I was able to take you along on this journey, and I hope I explained it well enough that you can follow it, or may encourage you not to leave what you're doing. If you are got other crafty things, you know, you don't have to give those up. This is just to add on to your, you know, put it in your box. Learning how to knit a few little scarves, a few little charts, or a larger faux swag sweater along with me. So there's nothing else to say, but I want to wish you happy knitting. Thank you so much, Sasetta, for just shouting me out and getting me started. And I love every minute of this sharing and the fellowship that all of us have now made a nice circle of friends. All right, now I've got to get on to the next project because I can't wait till you see it. For all those that, you know, will have time. So, this is Jay and this is Bird saying thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next project. So, stay tuned. Bye-bye.